Hi, and welcome to the practice video for Long, Long Ago. Before we start, you'll want to have your violin out, ready and tuned. If it's not, I would pause this video and make sure it's nice and in tune and your hair has been tightened, it's rosined, everything is good to go. Make sure you're in a quiet room with no distractions so you can have a good practice space. You'll want to have your Suzuki handbook, your Panda Red book. Turn to page 5 for the Bowstroke Legato. You'll want to get out your Suzuki book as well, maybe put it on the music stand to page 31. And in your handbook, you'll want to go to Long, Long Ago. Your picture may be a little different. I've been working with different designs for the coloring pages. And after you do learn this piece and play it, I think it's good to do 20 to 50 repetitions to really make sure that it's solid and it's ingrained into you. You'll also want to grab your thumb squeezes and a tissue for our bow exercises. Okay, so let's first look in your Suzuki book itself. Mine has rotting all over. On page 31, down at the bottom, it says Long, Long Ago, and then there's all these translated languages of it, and then below it, it says Moderato. That is your tempo marking. That's telling you how fast or slow to go. And this is moderate, so it's pretty medium. Maybe it's like 35 miles an hour, driving through residential. And then we'll go all the way over to the right-hand side, and it'll say T.H. Bailey. So this is the first song in Book 1 that really has a composer, because they've all been folk songs. I mean, Twinkle Little Star was written by Mozart, but in the books it's also known as a folk song. So who was T.H. Bailey? I have this really great companion from Suzuki to Mozart, and actually Kathleen Spring, who wrote Bunny Ballads, her student wrote this as her dissertation. But on page 6, it explains a little bit about T.H. Bailey himself. Thomas Haynes Bailey was born in 1797 and he died in 1839. He wrote this song called Long, Long Ago, and it was most popular in the United States in 1843. It was even published in a magazine, which is pretty impressive because printing was, invented not too long before that. Okay, so let's see. It seems like he had a little bit of a story here. He intended to go into the church as a profession, but his marriage to a wealthy woman ended his studies early. 6 years later, one of his sons died, he lost his health, and he was running out of money. Whoa, that sounds like a crazy life. Bailey started writing music in order to make a living. Bailey titled this song originally The Long Ago, but his editor, Rufus Griswold, what a name, probably changed it to its current name, Long, Long Ago. And we keep some of the words, but we also replace it with dinosaurs in my version. But the real version is, somebody is calling me. Oh, I'm gonna have to decline it for now. Okay. Alright. Tell me the tales that to me were so dear, long, long ago, long, long ago. Sing me the songs I delighted to hear, long, long ago, long ago. Now you are come, all my grief is removed. Let me forget that so long you have proved. Let me believe that you love as you loved, long, long ago, long ago. There's actually 2 more stanzas. So I guess the words kind of talked about his tragic life that happened. Okay, so I would do some thumb squeezes before we get going. I would do 100 of these. And I even made a thumb squeeze chart for myself because these are so good. I'm making a checkered pattern, so every time I do 10 thumb squeezes, I color in part of the checkered part. Pause it, do 100. We also want to get our horsehair thing ready close. Okay, so let's sing the dinosaur version. I'll play it on my violin, so we can have a nice tune the whole time. Alright, Long, Long Ago by T.H. Bailey. Tell me the tales that to me were so dear, of dinosaurs, of dinosaurs. Sing me the songs I delighted to hear, of dinosaurs, dinosaurs. Rest, rest, circle bow. I've never met one, not under the bed, not in the shower, and not in the shed. Dinosaurs lived such a long time ago, long ago, long ago. So, this is also known as a resting piece. So you've already learned all the skills that you need to make this piece successful. So a lot of students like to play this, lightly row, Aunt Rhody on recitals. And if you learn this piece really fast, don't be alarmed. That's a good thing. That means you've done so much work leading up to this that you can actually rest on this piece and enjoy your own playing. Alright, so let's do the bow exercises. You first have a spider crawl. This is page 5. This bow stroke is known as legato. It's smooth. Once you get good at spider crawls, try going down. It's even hard for me. My hands always could be stronger. Alright, we'll do some smiles. This has a lot of smile strokes in it. So you're making a smile with the screw. And you can hear the smiles. Sorry, I'm hitting my D string. Bouncing balls. We want to keep our wrist loose. And I would do a lot of these, more than I'm doing here. Pinky taps, you can hold the tip and do pinky taps, or I call these pinky push-ups, or you can do it without. So this does show lots of strength. See, my third and fourth finger muscles are connected. My third finger is wanting to come off, so maybe I'll hold it so I can keep that fourth finger independent. And horsehair bow hold. I love to use this piece as an ear training tool. It's basically the A major scale, which you'll want to practice A major scale and arpeggios. You can also practice D major scale, so I'd pause the video and practice those. So you can get your horsehair bow hold. So you're holding the hair, thumb is here, fingers are inside, and not the stick. You're going to feel what the horsehair feels when it's going into the string. So sing along, you can do this in phrases. This is the plate. Tell me the tale that I wanted to hear of dinosaurs, of dinosaurs. Now we have the bread, changes just a little bit at the end. Sing me the songs I delight to hear of dinosaurs, dinosaurs. Rest, rest. I've never met one not under the bed, not in the shower and not in the shed. Dinosaurs lived such a long time ago, long ago, long ago. And in the middle there are two cheeses. So try to see if you can point out what two measures only in the middle are exactly the same. And I call those the cheeses, and then we have the bread again at the end. So the first line that we sing is unlike any other line in the piece. So you want to go through your book and see how is the first entire line of music different from the second line. Say it out loud. Compare. Third measure we have E, then we have D, C, B. Oh, but there's something different at the end. Then the last measure, it has 3, 2, 1, A, but the bread time is just open A. So that will sound confusing with me doing it out loud, so that's why you should compare the first whole line and the second whole line in your book. You can kind of diagonally line up the notes to see the differences. Maybe you'll print a copy of this and even mark them down so that you can physically see. This is actually a skill that is very important for them to learn. It seems like the song is just trying to be tricky, but I have to constantly do this in my music. How is that one little thing different the second time? That little tiny nuance. So this is a great skill to have for the future. So we have our form, bread, cheese, cheese, spread. Hold on, I'm getting my sheet. Okay, yes, this piece is really all about dynamics. So you'll see these alligator markings, and that's called crescendo. And then you'll see decrescendo. So practice saying that. You want to get soft to loud, crescendo, and then loud to soft, decrescendo. How do you do that on the violin? You start near the fingerboard, and maybe like right here. I would call this lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to move from lane 2 to maybe lane 3 or 4 to get that crescendo. Tell me the tale that you love me to hear. Then move back. Rest, rest. What marking was that? Can you look in your book? Third line, measure 9. What does it say? I'll give you a second to find it. Forte, loud. So this is the first cheese. One on the D. What is the dynamic here? Mezzo piano. So that's soft with a little loud, medium soft. And this is going to be your echo. Hop 1 to the D string. And now we have mezzo forte with the crescendo. Great job. Let's see. So when you're singing, you'll also want to sing the rests in. We probably did that in your lesson. This is the same form as the song Lightly Row. So you had plate, bread, cheese, cheese, bread. You can make a physical sandwich if you need to, if that helps for you. But I look forward to hearing this in your lesson. Great job, and don't forget to practice your bow exercises.